The following matchup is being played with HistoryMaker Baseball Express, a fast-playing baseball simulation board game, a property of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. Hola, senors and senoritas. Welcome to today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. In today's episode, we are glad that you are here to celebrate Cinco de Mayo week, as we have, of course, all right, enough of that. We have, of course, it is Cinco de Mayo week, as we are going to be featuring the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox in the latest edition of Rivalry Night, as we have our first player to highlight here today, who wore the number 5 on the back of his jersey, none other than Joe DiMaggio, as the 1941 Yanks take on the 1941 Red Sox in the latest edition of Rivalry Night. Who will come out on top of this matchup? Well, I guess you're going to have to tune in to find out, because first pitch is coming up next. But first, let's have a little look and say gracias to our official Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. We would like to take time to say thank you to our official Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. This episode, first of all, is being brought to you by your favorite Bitty Beer products. And again, if you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. Hey, it's a blend of hops, rice, and barley that gives Bitty Beer its taste. But we know better. It's our brewing process that gives our beer that one-of-a-kind flavor that no premium beer can match. Our vats have never been cleaned. There's an itty-bitty bit of history in every can. Bitty Beer, the beer for folks who can't afford better. And by Doc Cola, the official cola drink of the Play Games community. Doc Cola uses finest ingredients to bring you that sugary blast of caffeine you've come to know and love. Twice the sugar and 3 times the caffeine of any other major. Doc Cola is sure to keep fired up from dawn till dusk. Take the Doc Cola challenge. See why our customers agree you'll never be able to wean yourself from a refreshing Doc Cola. And by Pizza Kingdom, the official pizza joint of the Play Games community. Pizza Kingdom, our signature New York style pizza, starts with crust. Then we layer on our homemade pizza sauce and load your pizza up with mounds of cheese. When it comes out of the oven, piping hot, golden brown, and ready for you to enjoy. Then we give the majestic culinary work of art to Mikey, our 16-year-old delivery driver who has responsible as a treat. Pizza Kingdom, it's sheer perfection. Left the store. And by Suncoast Capital Banks. At Suncoast Capital, we live by one simple rule of investing. When our clients win, we win. When our clients lose, we win. Suncoast Capital, you know we're going to get all of your money anyway. And by Rubicon Wireless. Why pay $200 a month for wireless service when you get 4 lines for just $25 a month? With our tin can plan, you can access our wireless network that covers at 25% of coast to coast between the hours of 11 p.m. and 4:30 a.m. with unlimited text and messaging those hours, of course. So why overpay for services you cannot live out? Rubicon Wireless. Yeah, we're just about set and ready to go for game 1 of our Cinco de Mayo week, as we are celebrating the 3 best players in Major League Baseball history to wear the number 5 on the back of their jersey. And of course, Cinco de Mayo was, I believe, just double check here on the calendar. I believe it is on Tuesday. So tomorrow will be officially Cinco de Mayo. But for this entire week, we'll be celebrating three of the best players to wear the number 5 on the back of their jerseys. And our first player to be recognized is going to be none other than Joe DiMaggio, as he and the New York Yankees will tassel it up with their rivals, the Red Sox. And we have the 1941 card set, and this is the personal card set that I created, and I sent it over to Keith about around this almost around this time, but in the summer. In the summer of last of 2025, and he's not sure when the cards will be produced. But for right now, if you like what you see, maybe I'll ask him to say, maybe, maybe not. Maybe I can ask to put these up on the page because they are all set and ready to go to share. But Sigma and Delta ratings will probably not be on the cards, as I wanted to make express versions of the cards. And so with that being said, this is going to be game 1 of this rivalry night between the 1941 Boston Red Sox and the 1941 New York Yankees, played with History Maker Baseball Express. Your starting pitching matchup for game 1 is going to be Lefty Gomez for the Yankees and Mickey Harris for the Red Sox. Lefty Gomez has the semi-star quality, and Mickey Harris, who we'll see in the bottom half of the first, has the semi-star, semi-flash, and semi-control qualities. With that being said, we're about set and ready to go for game 1 of this episode of Rivalry Night to kick off our Cinco de Mayo week here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. Gomez is ready, and Dom DiMaggio is ready to go, and so are we. Let's get rolling and play ball for game 1 of this episode of Rivalry Night. We are going to begin with a 5.56 star pitcher on Gomez. He is a semi-star. The decider die says he is. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 5 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the first. And after a half inning of play, it's Red Sox nothing, and the Yankees are coming to bat in the bottom half of the first inning. Four, 6, 6. Workman pitcher on Harris. No. Hero batter on Rolf. No. That is going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Rolf does not have home run king or slugger qualities. So good job by Mickey Harris and the Red Sox to keep the Yankees scoreless here in their half of the first. And after 1 inning of play, we have no score. Three, 5, 6. Workman pitcher on Gomez. No. 3, 5, 6. Champion batter on Finey. No. That is going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Finey does not have home run king or slugger qualities. Yep. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result of a Workman. No. Champ. No. Yes. So it'll be a no runs result of a 5 blank, and that is going to do it for the first for the 1.5 innings of play. Your score is a big fat goose egg between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Johnny Sturm will lead us off for the Yanks here in the bottom half of the second with a 1-2-6. Struggler or Gilded on Harris? No. Hero batter on Sturm? That is a negative. So therefore, that's going to be no runs with a possibility of a solo home run. Sturm does not have a home run king or slugger. So therefore, 4 straight half innings of no runs results. And it will be this time of a 6 dot. And that is going to do it for the first 2 innings of play. And after 2 innings, we have no score. 466 on Ted Williams. Workman 466. Yes, Workman pitcher on Gomez. No. Hero batter on Williams. Yes, he is a hero. So therefore, that is going to be a a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Ted Williams is a semi-stoic runner, and it looks like the decider die says he is stoic. So that 6 will be reduced to a 5, putting the runners on its second and third for Joe Cronin. And he will take his turn off the men on base chart, batting at home. The Red Sox are not batting at home. They are the visitors here at Yankee Stadium. So it will be a flyout. And that is going to be it for the Red Sox here in the top half of the third. Excuse me. We go to the bottom half of the third with your score with a zip-to-zip tie between these two fierce and bitter rivals. 1-2-5 on Henrik. Pitcher not fresh. Well, again, 3 full fresh, 3 semi-fresh. So in this case, Harris is still fresh. Champion on Henrik. He is not. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 1 blank. And that is going to do it for the first 3 innings of this one. And after 3 innings of play, we are scoreless at a zip-to-zip tie between the Red Sox and the Yankees. One, 4, 5. Ace or dynamic pitcher on Gomez? No. 1, 4, 5. Sad sack batter on Fox. That is a negative. So therefore, that is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Lefty Gomez does not have flash. So therefore, that is going to be a 5. And we'll place the runners on its second and third for Jim Tabor to roll for his at bat off the men on base chart. 36, and it will read active batter gets runners advance 2 bases single, and it looks like Tabor is not an active runner, so therefore it will be a contact result. And I usually roll the red die for this. We have a 2. Sad sack. Tabor is not a sad sack. There is our first runs of the ball game as Tabor gets the Red Sox on the board with an RBI, and your score after 3.5 innings of play is Red Sox 1, Yankees nothing. 1-1-6. Struggler pitcher on Harris. No. Utility on DiMaggio. No way, Joe. No way, Joe. You are not a sad sack. So therefore, utility. Sorry. That is going to be a check for an RBI, and the decider die decides not to come through, folks. The decider die says no. So therefore, that is going to... Yes, that is going to be a no runs result of a 1, just to double check, 1-1-6, struggling, no, utility, no. Yes, decider die was not used, so it'll be used for the RBI check, and it's no RBI, so therefore it'll be a no runs result of a 6 dot, and that is going to do it for the first 4 innings here at the stadium. Your score is Red Sox 1, Yankees nothing. 3-5-6. Workman pitcher on Gomez. No. Champ on Door. No. That is going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Bobby Doerr does not have home run king or slugger qualities. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 6 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the 5th. But the Red Sox still lead it 1-0 over their rivals in the New York Yankees. 1-4-6. Ace or dynamic pitcher on Harris. No. Sat sack on Keller. No. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if control. Harris has control, and the decider die says he does. So from bases loaded to second and third for Bill Dickey off the men on base chart. 14, and it seems Scrapper hits single. Bill Dickey is a semi-scrapper, and the decider die says he is. So therefore, that'll allow one run to score. The game is tied at one apiece, thanks to Bill Dickey, and the runner on second will go to third, and nothing more. And with that, the game is all dead even at one. Your score after 5 innings of play is Yankees 1, Red Sox 1. 335. Let's see here. Here we are. Struggler pitcher on Gomez. No. Champ on Pitlack. No. No runs of a 5 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the first 5.5 innings of play. Your score is still a 1-1 tie between the Red Sox and the Yankees. 116. Struggler on Harris. No. Utility on Gordon. No. That is going to be an RBI question mark, and the Yankees are going to take the lead. Are going to extend their lead. But look at this: the white number, in this case, the black die, or I should say, the black die. In this case, the white number is a 6. There is a rule in this game: whenever an RBI question mark result comes up, and the decider die says dot, and the black die is a 6. Guess what? It's not only 1 RBI, it's actually 2 RBIs. So Joe Gordon will give the Yankees the lead as we head to the 7th inning. It's Yankees 3 and the Red Sox 1. Three, 4, 5. Let's see here. 3, 4, 5. Here we are. Star pitcher on Gomez. Excuse me. He is a semi-star. The decider die says he's not. Sad sack on Joe DiMaggio. He is not. So therefore, that'll be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash or control. Gomez does not have either flash or control. So that is going to put the runners either on first and second, or on at third base. You know what? To tie the game, you might want to put the runner on at third, but the Red Sox are thinking they want to have to take the lead. So they're going to go first and second, and hopefully it pays off for them with Lou Finey off the men on base chart. 16, good eye. Finey has good eye, so therefore, folks, we roll again. Another 16, good eye. Make it ball 2. Roll again. 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Phil Rizzuto is not gold, so therefore that is going to be an error, and the bases are loaded full of Red Sox for Ted Williams. He will bat off the men on base chart with a 46. Same reliever gets the strikeout. We have a lefty. So again, when we say same, it's lefty versus lefty, righty versus righty. Since we have a lefty versus lefty matchup, it is going to be a strike 3 called painted on the outside corner for strike 3, and that will leave the bases loaded, and we head to the stretch here at the stadium. Your score is Yankees 3, Red Sox 1. And a fine, nice, good rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, along with God Bless America, was beautifully sung by the patrons here at the old Yankee Stadium here in the Bronx, as we have for Game 1 of this episode of Rivalry Night for Cinco de Mayo week, featuring the best players to wear the number 5 on the back of their jersey in baseball history. We are featuring Joe DiMaggio, for today's episode of Rivalry Night. And the thing, it is kind of funny too as well. But we'll have to wait and see as we get set for the the bottom half of the seventh with both starters still good to go. It's still the Yankees lead it 3-1 over the Red Sox. And we have Red Wolf up at the plate. 166. Ace pitcher on Harris. No. Stat sack batter on Rolf. No. That is going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Rolf is a semi-stoic runner. So the decided eye says he's not stoic. So therefore, you can't go higher than a 6. So therefore, the bases are loaded, full of Yanks, and we do see the bullpen going for the Red Sox just in case if things do implode here in the late stages of the 7th inning, as we have Johnny Sturm to bat off the men on base chart. 12, slugger hits home run. Sturm is not a slugger, so therefore that is going to be a single and end of inning, and 2 runs are going to score for the Yankees to make it 5-0, or 5-1. The runner on the runner on third is going to score. The runner on second scores. The runner on first goes to third, and nothing more. So that is going to be all she wrote for this first 7 innings of this ball game. The score after 7 innings is Yankees 5, Red Sox 1. Bullpen is going just in case for both these teams, and we still are going with Lefty Gomez to see if he can still make it, even though we're still in the way past the freshness innings. We have a 3.56. Workman pitcher on Gomez. That is a negative. Champ on Cronin. That is a negative. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Cronin does not have home run king, or neither does he have patience. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, slugger. So therefore, 3.56. Workman no, Champ no. So yes, decided I was not used. I just wanted to make sure about that, and no home run king or slugger. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 3 blank, and that is going to seal up the top half of the 8th with your score: Yankees 5, Red Sox 1. (335). Struggler pitcher on Harris. No. Champ on Henrik. No. That is going to be a no runs result of a 3 blank. And that is going to do it for the Yankees here in their half of the 8th. And after 8 innings of play, it's Yankees 5, Red Sox 1 as we head to the 9th inning and the last call for the Red Sox. 1.56. Ace pitcher for Gomez. No. Sat sack on Fox. No. That is going to end up being a men on base result, -1 for the black die if flash. Gomez does not have flash. So therefore, that one is going to stay put, and we'll put the runner on at first for Jim Tabor. He will bat off the men on base chart of a 33. Scrapper hits single. He's not a scrapper. That is going to be a triple. A run is going to come across to score. And we continue on here in the 9th inning with Bobby Doerr. It's now 5-2 in favor of the Yankees. 15. Scrapper hits double. Bobby Doerr is not a scrapper. That is going to be hit high, far, and gone. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is not going to be enough. The Red Sox rally, but they came 1 run short as the Yankees hang on to win game 1 of this episode of Rivalry Night over the 1941 Boston Red Sox by the final score of 5-4. We're just about set for game 2 of this Rivalry Night series here from Fenway Park for this episode of Rivalry Night as part of Cinco de Mayo week as we celebrate 3 of the best players to wear the number 5 on the back of their jersey. This episode we are featuring Joe DiMaggio, and he will lead us off for the Yankees against this starting pitching matchup of Charlie Wagner for Boston and Marv Brewer for the Yankees. Wagner is just finishing up his warm-up tosses, and again, Joe DiMaggio in this season of 1941 had set a major league record of a 56-game hitting streak, and still yet to this day has not yet been matched. I wonder who one of today's players will be enough to break the streak of DiMaggio. Some came close. Some came like really close to beating DiMaggio for the record, but it was not to be for naught, as Joe DiMaggio was so powerful in hitting in this season of 1941. With that being said, Wagner is all set and ready to go, and so are we. It's Wagner and DiMaggio and Joe DiMaggio to lead us off for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night. 3-4-5. And it seems we have star pitcher. Yes, we do. So therefore, that's going to be a no-runs result of a 4 blank, and that is going to be all she wrote for the first half inning of play. The Yankees are held scoreless, and the Red Sox are coming to bat in the bottom half of the first inning. (166) 166. Here we are. Ace pitcher on Brewer. No. Sad sack on Pitlack. No. That is going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Pitlack is neutral. The bases are loaded, full of Red Sox here at Fenway Park. And here comes Dom DiMaggio off the men on base chart. We have a 12. Slugger hits home run. Dom DiMaggio does not have slugger, so therefore that is going to be a single, and 2 runners are going to come across to score no matter what. The runner on third scores and the runner on second scores, and after 1 inning of play, it's Red Sox jumping out in front this time by a score of 2-0. 116. Struggler pitcher on Wagner. No. Utility on Keller. No. That is going to be an RBI question mark result, and no RBIs are going to be presented as the Red Sox still hang on by a 2-0 lead. It's a no-runs result of a 6 dot for the pitcher. And with that being said, we continue on to the bottom half of the second. The Red Sox lead their rivals in the Yankees 2-0. 4-5-6. Pitcher not fresh. Well, again, I played as 3 full fresh and 3 semi-fresh. Since we're still in the full freshness innings, the pitcher is considered still fresh. So now we ask, is Finey a champion batter? 4-5-6. Yes. Is Finey a champion batter? He is not. So it's going to be a no-runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. And it seems Lou Finey does not have home run king or slugger qualities. So therefore, that is going to be a no-runs result of a 6 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the first 2 innings of this one. Here for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night, the Red Sox lead the Yankees 2-0. 1-3-4. Ace pitcher for Wagner. So far, he's pitching like one through the first 2 innings, but again, he does not have the quality. Champion batter on Dickey. No. That is going to be a no-runs result of a 4 dot, and that is going to be all she wrote for the first 3 innings for the Yankees. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Red Sox 2, Yankees nothing. Three, five, six. Workman pitcher on Brewer. No. Champ on Williams. He is a champion. So therefore, that's going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. He's a semi-stoic runner. The decider die was not used. And it is, and Williams is not stoic according to the decider die. So therefore, the bases are loaded for Joe Cronin. This is the second time that the Red Sox catch the Yankees with the bases loaded. And the pitching coach is really not happy as we head to the men on base chart for Joe Cronin. 66. Oh, wow. Scrapper hits single. Cronin is not a scrapper. That is going to be a bases clearing double. All three runners are going to score. And the Red Sox lead the Yankees by a score of 5-0. And we do see some action down in the bullpen for the New York Yankees as Marv Brewer cannot find a way to solve this Red Sox team after winning game one. After the Yankees won game one almost by a similar score with same runs, almost like really same runs, but almost in a dire situation here. But we stay on the men on base chart for Jimmy Fox. And we have his bat for you of an 11. Batting team harmony or pitching team dissonant. Again, no adjustments are going to be used. Like I said some odd episodes ago, no team is going to take advantage of game day adjustments this season for the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. So everyone is treated on a neutral field. So therefore, it will be a ground out to end the inning here. But the Red Sox tack on 3 more runs, and they lead their rivals in the New York Yankees after 3 innings of play, 5-0. 145 on Cronin. On Gordon, excuse me. Ace or dynamic for Wagner? No. Satsack on Gordon? No. That's going to be a men on base result, -1 for the black die if flash. Wagner does not have flash, so that one is going to stay put, and we will put the runner on at first base for Philly Rizzuto. 24, gold fielder makes the out. Oh, Jim Tabor is not a gold fielder, so therefore that is going to be an error, advancing the runners 90 feet, station to station, and we go to the top of the order for Red Rolf. 36, active batter gets runners advance 2 bases single and a stolen base. Well, Red Rolf is not an active runner, so therefore it will be a contact result. This should be a chance to get on the board here for the Yankees. 5, champion. Red Rolf is not a champion, so therefore it will be a pop out to end the 4th inning here at the end, the top half of the 4th here at Fenway Park. And your score after 3.5 innings of play is Red Sox 5, Yankees nothing. And we do see a new pitcher coming out of that pen for the Yankees as they were warming up during the last half inning while all the hitting commotion for the Red Sox was going on. We will see who that new pitcher is after we take this really quick timeout. And we are back as we have seen a new pitcher coming in from the pen. As Norm Branch will be the new pitcher for the Yankees. He has the full usage of star and the semi-flash qualities. But for this at-bat against Bobby Doerr, he will have the full extent of having the flash quality. With that being said, the Red Sox lead their rivals in the Yankees here for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night by a score of 5-0. 134. That is going to end up being an ace pitcher for Branch. No. Here, champion batter on door. That's a negative. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 3-dot. And that is going to be all she wrote for the Red Sox here in the 4th inning. And after 4 innings of play, your score is still Red Sox 5 and the Yankees nothing. "113, struggler pitcher on Wagner. No. Utility on Sturm. No. That's going to be an RBI chance. And guess what, folks? The Yankees are on the board. Boos ring out from Fenway Park as the Yankees score and break the shutout of Charlie Wagner. It is now 5-1 in favor of the Boston Red Sox from 1941. Two, three, four. Pitcher not fresh. Well, again, Branch is the bullpen hero arm. He is considered fresh. Sack batter on Pitlack. No. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if control. And it looks like Branch does not have control. So therefore, that 3 is going to stay put. And we will place the runners at first and second. So DiMaggio, hang on a sec. I read that wrong. Sorry. For DiMaggio, again, 2, 3, 4. He's fresh. He's not a sack. So yeah, it was DiMaggio's at bat. I forgot to flip the pawn to DiMaggio after Pidlack's at bat. So now we're on Lou Finey, and we'll keep the runners at first and second for Lou Finey's turn off the men on base chart. 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Henrik is not gold, so therefore that is going to be an error on the Yankees outfielder, and it will advance the runners 90 feet and have the bases juiced for Ted Williams. 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Oh, Joe DiMaggio is not gold. So therefore, that is going to be an unearned run for the Red Sox, as it will be yet another error for the Yankees outfield. And again, it's really tough, guys. It is really tough. Again, this is the card set that I created. And so far, the Red Sox have been really taking advantage of these errors by the Yankees. It's now 6-1 in their favor. 23. Eager grounds out. Cronin is not eager. Go station to station, folks. Nowhere to put them. 7-1. Keep it coming. 34. Slugger hits a double. Jimmy Fox is not a slugger, so therefore that's going to be a single, and 2 runs are going to come across to score. The runner on third scores, the runner on second scores, and the runner on first will go to third, and nothing more. And after 5 innings complete, it's all Red Sox here in Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night. Your score is Red Sox 9, Yankees 1. Wagner says he's still good to go for another inning, so let's see what he can do with a 2-4-5. Struggler pitcher on Wagner, no. Sack on Keller, no. That's going to be a men on base result with a -1 for the black die if flash or control. Wagner has semi-control. The decider die was not used. Struggler, no. Sack, no. Yes, so it was not used. So that 4 will be reduced to a 3. Go big or go home. They're putting the runner on at third base for Bill Dickey. 33. Scrapper hits single. Bill Dickey is a semi scrapper. The Saturday says he's not. That is going to be a triple. Oh, keeping the runner at third base, scoring Charlie Keller from third. And Bill Dickey replaces Keller with a triple. and that is going to be a score of 9-2 Red Sox. We keep going on the men on base chart for Joe Gordon. 45, fresh pitcher gets the ground out. Again, we're in the semi-fresh innings, and look at this. Wagner is not fresh, so therefore it will be a single and a chance to take him out of the game. So either way, the Red Sox will score a run, and that is probably going to do it, folks. Wagner, the Boston Red Sox manager, says, nah, we want to keep them at bay. Hey, and we want to try to win this one. You're done. You did a nice job. We'll tab the pen, take care of things from here on out. With that being said, your score after 5.5 innings of play is still Red Sox 9, I should say, Yankees 3. Two, 5, 6 on Tabor. Workman on Branch, no. Sad Sack on Tabor, no. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Branch has flash, and has semi-flash, and the decider die says he does not. So therefore, that 5 is going to stay put and put in the runners on its second and third for Bobby Dorr. 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out. This time the decider die decided to behave. Branch woke up for Doors at bat, and he will get the ground out to end the inning here in the bottom half of the 6th. And after 6 innings of play, the Red Sox lead the Yankees 9-3. And we do see a new pitcher for the Red Sox coming in from the bullpen, and we will find out who that is after we take this quick timeout. And it seems we're going to have to look at a new pitcher here for the Red Sox, as the manager for the Red Sox told Wagner a nice job well done, despite giving up the last run. So we have a new pitcher for the Red Sox, and his name is Jack Wilson. He has the workman and semi-wild qualities, but for this at-bat, he will have the full usage of having the semi-star quality for this at-bat against Phil Rizzuto to lead off the top half of the 7th with the score Red Sox 9, Yankees 3. 244. That is going to read ace pitcher 9. I said semi-star, so yeah. Ace, no. Utility, that is going to be a negative on Rizzuto. So it will be a men on base result, -1 for the black die of control. Wilson does not have control, so that 4 will be reduced. Or excuse me, that 4 will stay put at runners at first and third, runners at the corners for Mr. Red Rolf. And he will take his hacks off the men on base chart of a 36. Active batter gets runners advance 2 bases single. Red Wolf is not an active runner, so therefore that is going to be a contact result. And I usually roll the red die for this. We have a 4, champion or hero. Red Wolf is neither a champ, neither is he a hero. So therefore, that is going to be a ground out, and that is a good way to keep the Yankees at bay as we head to the 7th inning stretch. Your score here for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night is Red Sox 9, Yankees 3. And a nice, fine, well chorus of Take Me Out to the Ball Game was sung here by the patrons here at Fenway Park with your score as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning of Red Sox 9, Yankees 3. Kedlak will lead us off with a triple twos. Oh, this is going to be a ballpark check, so give me 1 second here to pull out the ballpark chart here for Fenway. Here we are. And we have a number roll of, we'll roll the white die for this, of a 1. Let's see here. Small ballpark. Oh boy, I think Fenway is. Let's see. Fenway Park. We have a right-hander up to bat. It is a small ballpark. So therefore, that is going to be hit high, hit far, and hit here for a solo home run by Frankie Pitlack. And your score is now Red Sox 10, Yankees 3. It's official, folks. It's a rout. We go to the 8th inning by that score as Johnny Sturm will lead us off in the top half of the 8th inning with the Red Sox in front 10-3. 146. Acer Dynamic on Wilson. No. Sad Sack on Sturm. No. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if control. Jack Wilson does not have control. So therefore, Johnny Sturm is going to get on base. Or excuse me, we're going to place the runners, I should say, on first and third for Tommy Henrik off the men on base chart. We have a 14. Scrapper hits single. Oh, Henrik is not a scrapper, so therefore that is going to be a bases clearing double. 10-5 now in favor of the Red Sox. And we now go to Joe DiMaggio's turn up at the dish off the men on base chart. We have a 24. Gold fielder makes the out. Dom DiMaggio is not a gold fielder, so therefore that'll advance the runners 90 feet. It's an error. That'll be an error on DiMaggio, on Dom DiMaggio, I should say. That will place the runners at first and third for Charlie Keller to take his hacks off the men on base chart. 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out. Wilson is considered fresh because he is the bullpen arm. So therefore, that will be a ground out to end the 8th inning here, but not before the Red Sox bring the score a little bit closer. It is now 10-5 in favor of the 1941 Boston Red Sox. (146). Let's see here. Ace or dynamic pitcher on Branch? No. Sad Sack on Lou Finey? No. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die of control. Branch does not have control. The bases are loaded. The Red Sox want to try to gain back that route. That difference in runs here to make it officially a rout once more as we go to the men on base chart for Ted Williams, 33. Scrapper hits single. Ted Williams is not a scrapper. That is a bases clearing triple. 3 runs are going to score. It is now 13-5 in favor of the Boston Red Sox. And folks, I'm going to say it. The Red Sox, if this was a mercy rule, if the Yankees still had 3 runs, it would have been considered a mercy. Holy. So with that being said, we continue on the men on base chart with Joe Cronin up at the dish, 35. Control pitcher gets the ground out. Norm Branch is not a control pitcher, so therefore that is going to have runners at the corners for Jimmy Fox. 24. Gold fielder makes the out. Bill Dickey is not gold. That is going to be an error on the catcher as he throws the ball away. A run is going to come across to score, and it will be first and second for Jim Tabor, and it is imploding for the Yankees as they are down by a lot, 14-5 in favor of the 1941 Red Sox. 12. Slugger hits home run. Jim Tabor is not a slugger, so therefore that's going to be a single And another run is going to come across to score 15-5 now, folks. And it's official, guys. It is a rout. The score is 15-5 in favor of the 1941 Boston Red Sox. We go to the ninth. Last call for the Yankees here in game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night. Let's head there right now. 156. Ace pitcher on Wilson. No. 156. Yep. Stat sack on Gordon. No. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die of Flash. Jack Wilson does not have Flash. The bases are loaded, full of Yankees. Phil Rizzuto is going to step up to the plate here off the men on base chart. We have a 33. Scrapper hits single. Phil Rizzuto is a semi-scrapper. The decider die says he is. So therefore, he is going to go. We're going to go station to station. It's 15-6 now. The Yankees are still kicking. As long as they're kicking dirt, they are still alive in this one. The bases are still loaded. As we continue off the men on base chart of a 23. Eager grounds out. Red Wolf is not an eager batter. Nowhere to put him. Station to station. 15-7 now. Are the Yankees going to find a way to come back to win this one? Stay tuned to find out. 14. Scrapper hits single. Sturm is a semi-scrapper, and the decider die says he is a scrapper. Oh, man. But a run does come in to score. But in the end, the Red Sox are going to hang on to win game 2 by the final score of, get this, folks, 15-8 over their rivals in the 1941 New York Yankees. And we're just about set and ready to go for game 3 of this Rivalry Night series between the 1941 Boston Red Sox and the 1941 New York Yankees. Your starting pitching matchup is going to be for game 3. Red Ruffing is going to go for the Yankees, and opposing him will be Joe Dobson. Red Ruffing has the semi-star and control qualities, while Joe Dobson has the semi-workman, semi-flash, and semi-control quality. With that being said, Ruffing is all set and ready to go, and so is Bobby Doerr. Let's get rolling for game 3 of this episode of Rivalry Night. We'll begin with a 2-4-6. Star pitching on Ruffing. He's a semi-star. The decider die says he is. So therefore, that's going to be a no-runs result of a 4 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the Red Sox in their half of the first. And the Yankees are coming to bat in their half of the first inning. Another 2-4-6. And again, it asks star pitching for Dobson. He's not a star. Champion on Johnny Sturm. He is not. So therefore, it's going to be a no runs result. And it looks like Sturm does not have slugger or home run king. So therefore, it will be a no runs result of a 4 dot for Flash. And for control, a blank. And that is going to do it for the first inning here for game 3 of this Rivalry Night series. After 1 inning of play, we have no score. .455 on Pitlack. Workman pitcher on Ruffing. No. Utility batter on Pitlack. He is a utility batter. Excuse me. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result of a 5 dot and that is going to do it for the top half of the second for the Red Sox. As you can see, we still have no score as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. 1-2-4. Ace pitcher for Dobson. No. Champ on Henrik. No. That is going to be a no runs result of a two dot for Flash and a dot as well for Control. And that is going to be all she wrote for the first two innings of this game 3 here for this episode of Rivalry Night, with the score Red Sox zip, Yankees zip. 3-3-6. Workman pitcher on roughing. No. Satsak on Dom DiMaggio. No. That is going to be an RBI check, and the decider die says no RBI. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result of a 3 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the third. We go to the bottom half with no score. 2-2-3. Ace pitcher on Dobson. No. Utility on Joe DiMaggio. No. So therefore, that's going to be an RBI check. And oh man, folks, Joe DiMaggio does it again. The RBI says yes. That is going to be a lead for the Yankees as Joe DiMaggio delivers an RBI and a 1-0 lead for the Yankees after 3 innings of play. 2-5-5. Struggler on roughing. No. Utility on Finey. No. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die of Flash. Red roughing does not have Flash, so therefore that 5 is going to stay put, and we'll place the runners at second and third for Ted Williams. And we will have his hacks be off the men on base chart of a 16. Good eye. He does have a good eye. So guess what, folks? We're rolling again. 23. 23. Eager grounds out. Ted Williams is not eager. That is going to load up the bases for Joe Cronin off the men on base chart. Oh my goodness, 15. Scrapper. Cronin is not a scrapper. That is going to be hit high, far, and gone for a grand slam as Joe Cronin gives the Red Sox a 4-1 lead after 3.5 innings of play. The score is Red Sox 4, Yankees 1. Uh, 2-2-6. Ace pitcher on Dobson. No. Utility on Keller. No. That is going to be an RBI check, and unfortunately, the decider die says no. Unfortunately, the 6 was there, but the decider die decided not to behave. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 2 dot for Flash and blank for Control. That is going to be it for the first 4 innings of play, and after 4 innings, your score is 1941 Red Sox 4 and the 1941 Yankees 1. 2-2-5. Ace pitcher on roughing. No. Hero batter on Jimmy Fox. He is a hero batter. So therefore, that's going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Fox is a semi-stoic. The decider die says he's not. Let me just double check. Ace, no. Hero, no. Yes, so the decider die was not used. Fox is not stoic. So therefore, that 2 is going to stay put, and we'll put the runner on at second base for Jim Tabor off the men on base chart. We got a 12. Slugger hits home run. Unfortunately, Jim Tabor's not a slugger, so therefore, that is going to be a single. Another run comes home to score. It's now 5-1 Red Sox as Tabor delivers an RBI single. And with that, after 4.5 innings of play, the score is now 1941 Red Sox 5 and the 1941 Yankees 1. Two, 5, 6. Here we are. Workman pitcher on Dobson. He's a semi-workman. The decider die says he is. Oh, this could be the Yankees' chance because it will be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Joe Gordon is a neutral runner. The bases are loaded, full of Yanks, as we bring up Buddy Rosar, the catcher for the Yankees. And he will take his hacks off the men on base chart with a 14. Scrapper hits single. Oh, Buddy Rosar is a scrapper. That is going to bring home 1 run for the Yankees, no matter what. But that is going to be all she wrote for the bottom half of the 5th. So the Yankees get 1 run back. And the score is now Red Sox 5, Yankees 2. 4, 5, 6. Pitcher not fresh, and again I'm playing this as 3 full fresh, 3 semi-fresh. So since we're in the semi-fresh innings, Red Roughing is not fresh according to the decider die. So therefore, it will be a men on base result with a base running adjustment on Bobby Doerr. And since he is stoic, that 5 will be reduced to a 4. Runners at the corners for Frankie Pitlack off the men on base chart. 36. Active batter gets runners advance 2 bases single plus a stolen base. Unfortunately, Frankie Pitlack is not an active runner, so therefore it will be a contact result. And I usually roll the red die for this. We have a 1. Okay, so we're going to first look for a whiffer versus flash pitcher. We do not have a whiffer batter versus a flash pitcher, so therefore it's going to add on another run for the Red Sox to make it 6-2 in favor of those Red Sox from 1941 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th here at Yankee Stadium. Two, 4, 5. Struggler on Dobson. No. 2, 4, 5. Satsack on Rizzuto. No. So therefore, that's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash or control. Dobson is a chance at flash and control. So therefore, let's see here. The decider die was not used. So we'll use this dot for flash. So that 5 will be reduced to a 4. Does Dobson have control? He does not. So therefore, that 5 will be reduced to a 4. Runners at the corners for Red Rolf off the men on base chart. 46. Same reliever gets the strikeout. And again, when we say same, it's righty versus righty, lefty versus lefty. So with that being said, we have a lefty versus righty matchup. So no, that is going to be a contact result. And we have a 3, Satsack or utility on Red Wolf. He's a semi-utility. However, the decider die says no. The Yankees are crawling right back. They get 1 more run. It's all of a sudden a 6-3 game as we head down the stretch with your score, Red Sox 6, Yankees 3. Red Roughing is still good to go with a 3-3-4. Star pitcher on Roughing. He's a semi-star. The decider die says he is. That's going to be a no runs result of a 4 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the 7th. We head to the stretch here at the stadium with your score, Red Sox 6, Yankees 3. Uh, 3-3-6. Workman on Dobson. He's a semi-workman. The decider die says he is. Therefore, that is going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Sturm is semi-stoic. The decider die says he's not. So therefore, that is going to keep the black die at 3. And we are going to put the runners safely on first and second for Tommy Henrik off the men on base chart. 14, scrapper hits single. Henrik is not a scrapper, so therefore that is going to be a double, a bases clearing double for the Yankees as they tie things up as they bring this to a 1-run game. And now the man of the hour, Joe DiMaggio, will hit off the men on base chart for his hacks here in the bottom half of the 7th. The Yankees are making noise. 23. Eager grounds out. Unfortunately, Joe DiMaggio is not an eager batter. That is going to put the runners back on second and third as Joe DiMaggio will walk his butt down to first base to bring up Charlie Keller off the men on base chart. And we do see that bullpen going for the Boston Red Sox out in deep center. Yeah, I really don't know where the bullpens were at old Yankee Stadium, but that pen is active. So therefore, we head to the men on base chart once more for Charlie Keller with oh my goodness, a 66. Scrapper hits single. Keller is not a scrapper. The Yankees are going to take the lead. It is now 7-6 off of another bases clearing double by Charlie Keller. And my goodness, folks, the Red Sox pen is literally imploding here in the bottom half of the 7th. What does the manager of the Red Sox do? Down by 1 run, they want to try to keep it right here. They're going to stick with Dobson here. Oh man, I don't know how wise of a move that will be. 11, batting team harmony or pitching team dissonant. Well, again, I'm treating every team as neutral during this inaugural season for the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. So with that being said, it will end the inning with a ground out, but not before damage was done as the Yankees jump out from down 6-3 to lead it 7-6 after 7 innings of play. 5-6-6. Star pitcher on roughing. He's a semi-star. The decider die says he is. So therefore, that's going to be a no-runs result of a 6 dot. And that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the 8th. And your score is Yankees 7, Red Sox 6. And I do believe, yes, we do see a new bullpen pitcher coming in. There's going to be a new pitcher coming in for the bullpen for the Boston Red Sox to hopefully keep this game to a 1-run contest. While the new pitcher for the Red Sox is taking up his warm-up tosses, we will take a quick timeout. And we are back with the Yankees up in front, 7-6. We see Bill Fleming warming up on the mound here in the bottom half of the 8th. To come into the game, and for this turn against Buddy Rosar, he will have the full extent use of having the semi-ace quality. So with that being said, the Red Sox manager, I should say, wants to keep this at a 1-run contest with, of course, hitting Ted Williams due up in the 9th inning. With that being said, let's get right to things here for the bottom half of the 8th with the score, Yankees 7, Red Sox 6. 2-3-4. 2-3-4. Here we are. Pitcher not fresh. And again, Bill Fleming is considered the bullpen arm, so he is considered fresh. Sad sack on Rosar. He is not. So therefore, that's going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment, with -1 for the black die if control. Bill Fleming does not have control, so that 2 is going to stay put. And my goodness, folks, Red Sox are really imploding here in the 8th inning. We head to the men on base chart for Phil Rizzuto with a 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out. And again, the bullpen arm is considered fresh. So therefore, Bill Fleming will get the ground out to end the inning here with the score at a 1-run contest still. Yankees 7, Red Sox 6. Red Ruffing is going to head back out to the mound to finish this one off, as the Yankees manager is trusting his starter to get things done with a 1-3-3. Ace pitcher, he's not. Sat sack on Williams. No way. When is Ted Williams ever a sat sack? However, there's an RBI question mark chance, and unfortunately, the decider die says no. No RBI. That is going to be the ball game, and it's going to be a no runs result of a 3. And your final score, the Yankees come down back from the dead as they take game 3 of this Rivalry Night series with the Red Sox, with the final score, Yankees 7, Red Sox 6. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode of the latest edition of Rivalry Night, as we highlighted Joe DiMaggio as the 1941 New York Yankees took on the Boston Red Sox in our first Cinco de Mayo matchup here for Cinco de Mayo week here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. Well, have no fear. Let's see what's coming up next time here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. And it seems we are going to continue Cinco de Mayo week, as we are going to highlight yet another famous another famous player that wore the number 5 on the back of their jersey, none other than George Brett, as he leads the Kansas City Royals into battle against the St. Louis Cardinals in the latest edition of World Series Rewind, as we revisit the 1985 World Series. Who will come out on top of this matchup? Well, I guess you're going to have to tune in next time here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour that was being played with History Maker Baseball Express. We look forward to bringing you more matchups of Rivalry Night, World Series Rewind, Cross-Era Showdown, and a blast from the past as we revisit some classic and memorable games from Major League Baseball throughout the 2026 Major League Baseball regular season.